Hello and welcome back. Today I will talk about a very exciting discovery of mine some 14 years ago, which I want to share in this video. You might have heard about that the letters of the composer Bach are in German all note names. In Germany, our note B is called H. Our B flat is in Germany called just B. So the notes which spell Bach's name are B flat, A, C and B natural. And it occurs like this as a theme in the art of fugue at the very end. I'm sure already the young Bach knew the fact that he could sing and play his name. If ever this combination of notes would turn up in his music, it would never be an accident or go unnoticed. Before I will go and find these notes in the cello suites, I will look into the similar but different note names in English and German. Have the note names always been different? Here is an interesting painting from inside Westminster Abbey from the 12th century. The angels hold up a scale, the whole gamut, starting of course with the Greek letter gamma, G. Then follow all the notes, A, B, H, C, D, E, F, G and so on. Very interesting. The B is at the place where what we call today B flat, and the H is there where our B it would be today. The same as in Germany and many other European countries. So it looks like that in Gothic times the note names had been the same as in Germany. Interestingly, in English, flats are still indicated with a little b. Why would that be if the note B is not a flat but the natural? That would mean that the general little b for a flat is silly, because this B is not a flat. I assume therefore that in England the today B flat was called once upon the time B, as in Germany. And the little b reminds us today of this history. What about the H then, or H? Is there any indication it existed in England? Yes, there is an indication. Our natural sign is actually a Gothic H, lowercase. If you look at it, it still looks a bit like a beautifully written H. That we use it today means again, it did exist in English. The B was a B flat, the H a semitone higher, was still German H. By the way, if you fact checked on Google, they say that the natural sign was once the Gothic B. It would mean that both the B and the natural were B's, although the natural sign looks like the H. Well, Google got it wrong this time. And now to the Bach citation in Cello Suite No. 5. I started searching for the Bach citation after I've read the interesting book on the cello suites by Eric Siblin, in which he states that in Suite No. 3 in C major, the Bach citation occurs in the bass line of the Sarabande bar measure 21-22. I straight away took the music out and looked, but I was disappointed because there was a B natural bass note in between the A and C. So it seemed a bit a case of trying hard in order to get it. And I just play the whole passage. Now the important letters are in the bass. German B, A, German H, C, and here comes the H again. That means we have B, A, B-A-C-H. There's one H too much. Was there may be a straightforward citation anywhere with no buts? In my mind, I had to look at C minor, because it is a scale in which all four notes occur. In melodic minor down, we have B flat and A, the German B-A, and in the melodic minor scale, we have C-H, perhaps with another C, which is C, B natural, and again C. If you go back and forth as an ending, maybe I could find it. It would be so I sat down, and within 10 minutes I progressed to the Courante in Suite 5. And yes, there it was, bar measure 22, literally, as I predicted, going up again to the C. And it is, I just played. Now I need to mention something interesting. You can only see this citation if you look at the edition with normal tuning. Here you see the real note names in German, clearly B-A-C-H or our B flat A, C, B. But suite number 5 is written with scordatura. A scordatura means, in this case, the A string is tuned down to G. Tuning the cello was more flexible than today, and a drop G was used by several composers. I have here another cello and tuned the A down to G. And now I will play the normal first finger on the first string. So usually I get a B, but I get an A. In order to get a B, I need to play a C sharp. Although this finger feels now playing a C sharp. It produces a B. Well, that's exactly what Bach did. He wrote all notes on the now G string, which used to be an A, as if the cellist wouldn't know, and out comes everything one note lower. That means if you read the notes, they're all wrong. The B is not sounding like a B, but an A, and so on. So here are the note names in the scordatura of B-A-C-H or of our B flat A, C, B. And it is C, B natural, D, C sharp. In German, C, B, D, cis, or C, B, D, cis. Interestingly, the oldest manuscript is without scordatura. This copy is very hard to read. The lines are nearly missing. Also, at this time, they often wrote a sharp for a natural. And here are the notes, but written with a scordatura. C, B natural, D, C sharp. And who would guess it is B-A-C-H? And this is here Anna Magdalena's copy. So the oldest manuscript by Kellner was written without scordatura. So you see the actual notes. I was always puzzled how Kellner, an organist and flute player, would have transposed a scordatura without knowing anything about the fingerings of string players. How could he know when to apply the tone shift and when not? Interestingly, in his copy, the Sarabande is missing altogether, and from the Gigue he wrote only the first line. Well, that made me question, did Bach decide to encrypt the citation and therefore used the scordatura? Did he want to hide the citation after he had written the suite? It entered my mind that maybe Bach developed then the idea to write at a later stage a much larger piece, where he would make his name citation the center of the piece, the art of Fugue, or Kunst der Fuge, which unfortunately he could not finish. And he died just then when the theme occurs for the first time. Here is a theme. In a difference to Suite number 5, it is standing out. There's no search necessary. And this is a theme for the violin, and the script is cut short before the cello gets a theme. That means also that after all, Cello Suite 5 is the only place left with a citation of his name, which Bach actually finished. And as we will find out, he used the citation not only once, but 4 times. Well, and now we come to the placement of the citation. With Bach, it wouldn't be a coincidence. Looking at the statement of the citation, it's a strange spot. It doesn't look significant at all. Here, the C after the Bach statement marks a final return to C minor, the key of the suite. Just an ending follows. It is placed where steam is running out. Nothing important happens anymore. So if it would be a statement, it could only be that the citation is a pointer to the next movement saying, this movement finishes now, as you see. Please look ahead and see what's coming next. And I play the citation of the Courante in context. And I do a tiny comma after the citation. Finish. Bach is known for that he loved numbers, enjoying symmetry and balance, always aware of the mathematical relationships. If there's an imbalance in his works, then this imbalance had meaning. He wanted to express imbalance because of a reason. We know he expressed words in music, didn't just invent pretty melodies, but he also used clashing chords, sometimes a bit weird progressions, because he wanted to express something specific. And now the numbers and letters. There is a famous portrait of Bach, where we can see a number of buttons. The number of buttons add up to 14, and he had asked for that, because 14 is the numerical sum of the positions of his name letters in the alphabet. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and H is 8. Altogether 14. So Bach translated the letters used in music simply into numbers, and he identified with this number. So let's have a look at the next movement. Of course, in the scordatura, everything is again obscured, so I go straight to the sounding notes addition. As we are used to with Bach, the citation could come in the melody or in the bass. There might be other notes in between, melody notes if the citation is the bass, or bass notes if the citation is in the higher part. And we are again looking for, in English, B flat, A, C, B natural, B-A-C-H in German. And there we are. It is in the top part again, bar measures 13, 14. The last 2 notes in bar 13, asking for fulfillment, and the last 2 notes in bar 14, the mathematical sum of the notes of his name. This is for sure not accidental. I might add, I looked everywhere if anyone else mentioned this fact, but couldn't find a mention anywhere. And that was in 2010. What I find, and I think Bach had successfully hidden his use of the citation by writing or rewriting the suite with the scordatura. So this citation is not accidental. He also brings out that on the 3rd beat from here on are 2/8 notes or quavers, whereas in the bars before were always quarter notes, crotchets, or a doubled up C, another musical pinpointer. I play the second part of the Sarabande all higher notes up to the citation on the D string, so that the sound of the A string brings the citation more out. and I play part 2. Also, in the following bar or measure, number 15, the CB natural, German CH, appears on the third beat reversed an octave lower. And we know Bach loved reversed themes in his fugues. And then again, in bar 16, it reappears literally on the third beat. And it appears again in the second last bar on the second beat, like echoes and mirrors of the last two letters. I must mention, as a child in Germany, we played several echo games, hundreds of years old, in which you called several words, but only the last syllabus echoes back. What Bach did here. And this is fun, because they distort the meaning and everyone laughed. Like we shouted, "What is the name of the king of Wesel?" It's a German town on the river Rhine. And the echo would come back as Esel, meaning donkey. But Bach certainly knew them, and it reminded him of childhood fun. As mentioned, in the painting of Bach mentioned before, he holds a piece of music in his hand, which is supposed to represent a musical riddle. And so far as I know, no one ever found it out. He loved musical games like others love crossword puzzles. Bach would have had the easy option to show off the citation, but he decided not to. Like he could have finished simply the Sarabande with the citation, as in the Courante, where he pointed to the Sarabande, and the end of the Sarabande could have sounded normal. For example, I make something up, like this. And would have sounded very nice. But he didn't want to go that public. He wanted to leave a puzzle to be solved or not, whenever. So he left it there, waiting, maybe nobody finds it. Now there are two movements left. The next is the Gavotte. Is any Bach's B-A-C-H citation in the Gavotte? Yes. The first two notes, B flat and A, German B-A, in bar 26, 2 times 13. In bar 27, the first two notes, C-B, German C-H. He then repeats the same notes on the second beat of bar 28, 2 times 14. And again 3 bars or measures later, bar 30, the echo with CH, English CB. And I play and I start in bar measure number 24. B-A or B flat A. C, B or German CH. Again. And again. And so on. And now to the last movement, the Gigue. And yes, there's another citation. Again, the citation occurs in the upper melody, because it's more obscured. This time with a bar line in the middle of the two note pairs. The upbeat in the following first beat, B flat A, German B-A, in bar measure 48-49. And the CB, German CH, in bar measure 50-51. Interestingly, the writers of manuscript C and D put a trill on both first beats. Just to point out both places, I show here manuscript C, which is with scordatura, and I just play it. I start a little bit before. And so on. The copiers of C and D write the most ornaments in. They are written at a time where the conventions of when to use Baroque ornaments started to get forgotten. From the early classics on, all ornaments were written in. And when they were not written in, the performers did not have the freedom or right to add their own. In Mozart or Beethoven, you can't add trills where you like it. But even in Baroque times, performers could not just put ornaments in wherever they wished. There were conventions when to use them, and everyone had learned that when learning to play an instrument. In a way, in manuscripts C and D, we find that the copiers seem to have felt the duty to write in how the old players had used ornaments which were not written in, and they wrote them down for the young players, who wouldn't have dared to do so without it being written in. And in a way, this is lucky for us today. They showed us exactly where ornaments were added, and by comparing to the earlier manuscript, we can see when they were not written in, but played as the late manuscripts showed us. We ended up with a slight dilemma with the 4 surviving manuscripts, and I might mention that. The first 2 manuscripts are written by copiers who had known Bach in person and copied from his original, but they didn't play a string instrument. So they didn't include ornaments a string player would have learned to include. They also got bowings wrong and mixed it up with phrasing. And surely they did not understand an up and down bow feeling and didn't know probably the down bow rule, that you would cut a phrase or slur short by 1 note in order to get the right bow direction for the next one, a down bow. And then we have the 2 later copiers who played cello but had never seen Bach's original. It had been lost. Though they had heard the suites being played, probably had played them themselves, they handed us an idea on how and where to use ornaments, even when they were not written in. And now back to Bach's idea to put the citation of his name into the 5th cello suite. I think if you put there in the 5th suite his signature, then it is very likely there's a greater meaning hidden, maybe more than fun. The music set to his vocal compositions always expresses in music what the words say in language. But we don't have words, but he expresses his name and number in music. The question is, what did he want to express? Why did he do it encrypted? Bach enjoyed mixing a hidden meaning into music. Many play the music and don't even know what meaning they express at the time and when they play it. Time for Bach to sit back and smile. And again the question, why would he have hidden the citation? And 2 thoughts entered my mind. 1. The use of semitones in slurs was often used to express sadness. And B-A-C-H is part of these semitones, something sad in his life, expressed by the number 14. Is there any clue to anything what happened in Bach's life to one of his children? Did Bach enter any more clues? I could not decipher. And to help me, here's the Sarabande written out in German letters of the notes. If I find any clues, please contact me. And I thank Eric Siblin for pointing me to the right direction, to subsequently find the B-A-C-H citation in the Bach Cello Suites, although number 5. I'm quite proud to have found Bach's citation in 4 subsequent movements, with the climax in the Sarabande sounding bar number 14, Bach's signature number. And goodbye for now, until next time.